On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
No, check, Patriot! No, check, Patriot!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught, Shepard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Detroit!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up second down.
Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check, 47.
They'll look to throw here. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
Looking to throw. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They're running. Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And New York set to take the field.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Alex Okafor able to get him for a loss of about 3.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Now it's Ginn. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap. Jump too quickly.
He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now it's the backup Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 42 yards out. And Lutz puts this one through. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a play fake here on first down. Out to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They're going to look to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Well, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll drop to throw. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screen.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Dalvin Tomlinson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. So he got free at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Michael Thomas on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. They'll go to Barkley again. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Giants on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Hot.
A handoff to Barkley. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Please.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Watson has it right side. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Lutz puts this one through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So it's his third field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it. Leopard. Leopard. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
They'll look to throw to Barkley on the check down. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now the pitch comes to Ingram. And room there to work it inside the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now a first carry for their fullback. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Leopard. Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Hurry up. Here we go. 319. 319.
Again, it's Kamara. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Bridgewater to throw. Flush to his right. Teddy Bridgewater, a cool moment for him. His first touchdown pass since the final week of the 2016 season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll set up to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time is going to run off the clock.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now back to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll set up a throw. He finds Beckham complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. He'll look to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. There they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for